What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Fresh Out of Boot Camp. We got PFC Dey Jesus. He's a 14 Golf. And what is that?
So 14 Golf is an air defense battle management system operator on the air defense artillery side of things.
That's a big title. Wow. Did you write that yourself?
I wish. No.
But anyway, so what we're going to be doing in this episode is we're going to go over why he joined the Florida Army National Guard, and then we're going to dig into his experience at boot camp. So to start it off, why did you join?
So my family's always been in the military since like the beginning of like America.
Okay.
So, but for the National Guard reason why, so I can go to school. I really want to go to nursing school and eventually get my bachelor's.
Awesome. And are you currently enrolled right now?
Not at the moment.
Okay. You probably just got out of boot camp, right? Because you're fresh out of boot camp. That's next on the list. But yeah, we'll cover 100% in-state tuition for bachelor's, your master's, EMT certifications, which are some prereqs to becoming a nurse, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. And then when it comes to your experience, so where did you go to boot camp?
So I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Okay, nice. What would you say was your best experience there?
My favorite experience definitely had to be during the last ruck march during the forge.
Okay.
Everybody's just like tired, everybody's exhausted. It's just the crack of dawn. We're all up, and somehow, some way, in the midst of the ruck march, we all just started breaking out singing different songs. Like we started singing like Katy Perry's Fireworks in the middle of it. It was just seeing a bunch of grown men just act like kids, but like in the midst of it, it was just because like the camaraderie and like, just like stepping up to adversity, not letting the tiredness get to us, and just finishing strong. That was the greatest part.
That's awesome. Yeah, and then boot camp, you're gonna go through these experiences, but when you have a solid group of people that you're surrounded by, like to uplift each other, like experiences like that with all just starting to sing, like it's gonna raise your morale and raise your motivation to finish out, especially with like the last ruck, right? It's like, this is it, like we're gonna be done after this, so.
The final stretch.
It's exciting. So when it comes to like your toughest experience or worst experience, what would you say that was?
So it was during the Anvil, and it wasn't necessarily anything to do with like in the midst of basic, but it was more of, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, we're all sleeping, and it's, everybody's like pulling their fire guard watch, and out of nowhere, just a tornado hits in Oklahoma. Wow. So we all had to like, everybody's starting to freak out. But there's a good couple of us trying to keep everything just like calm and controlled and like escort everybody over to the shelters where it's supposed to be at.
Oh, geez.
And while we're in the shelters, we also had to pull fire guard, but it was like everything's dark, the tornado, like we can hear it off in the distance. So it was more just like trying to get everybody to calm down and stop freaking out.
Yeah.
And just helping out the drill sergeants as much as possible.
I can't imagine that, like, cause like you can't predict tornadoes. They just come out of nowhere, right? And you're like, oh, here it comes. Anyway, so you gave us your best and worst. Like, let's leave the audience with some advice for boot camp.
Definitely, if it's your first time going into something tough and you haven't been faced with adversity, don't let it get the best of you. Always focus about the people around you, your brothers and sisters by your side, and don't necessarily focus on the ending of you graduating, but focus on the next target, that 25-meter target, what we were taught. So think about ending the day, think about your next meal, and those little markings help each day go by faster.
That's huge, yeah, and this is something we talk about on the whole series with the other soldiers, is just focusing on like what you can control. And like he just said, your 25-meter target. So what do you have? What task is next? What's the next objective for the next day? Just controlling what you can control. And that's huge. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, and welcome to the Florida Army National Guard.
Thank you, Sergeant.
No problem, man. That's a wrap.